Right. Hi everybody. Just just gonna we're all gonna make a start now. So basically, I'm Richard Ingham. I do the website and the app for Blue Town Football Club, and tonight we're joined by Nick Hutt, who is one of our co-owners, and we have Kim Costa here, who is the operations manager and head of women's and girls section. We also have Alex Morrissey with us, who I believe is co-owner as well. And we have Jamie O'Hara, who's the manager of the first team. So that's a quick intro to everybody, and I'll hand over to Nicholas Hutt, who can get us started of what's happening with Blue Town Football Club.
Thanks very much, Richard. Unfortunately, Dave McCartney and Rob Downman were unable to make it tonight. We are hoping that Greg Lake will join. I did speak to him about an hour ago, and he was very much expecting to join. I would like to start by saying thanks again for a good turnout this evening. And what I thought we'd do this evening, if we can start, I know a few of the former players were down at the ground today, celebrating the life of Colin Searle, but I thought it might be nice if we start this evening with a quick toast and a drink to Colin. So, thanks for all your service, Colin, and, rest in peace. I must say that I saw Nicky Hayes' picture of the former players on the pitch today, and in particular, Doug Young's winkle pickers did make me slightly concerned about our new pitch. But it was nice to see them all down there. You will have seen that the first pitch is now finished. I think personally it looks amazing. I think it looks much better than I ever sort of thought it would. We're so pleased with it, and we hope all of you are as well. I would like to thank Ben and Nikki for all their efforts in charting the progress. I think particularly with everything that's going on in the world, I think being able to see something progressive over the last sort of 6-8 weeks, certainly for me personally, has given me a real boost, and I hope the same is true for the rest of you. The good news is the pitch passed yesterday's FIFA inspection. So next steps, we'll have a formal handover with Slatters, I believe, scheduled for Monday. And then we're thinking about a sort of soft launch of the pitch with maybe some of the girls or the Colts teams training towards the sort of second half of next week, and then really start to open the pitch and the facility up, at least for sort of non-contact training. I'm sure many of you saw the vague government advice that came out earlier today. Sort of gives us some additional optimism. And I think we're all hoping for some clarification from the FA or the Essex FA in terms of what we can and can't do and when. Also wanted to give you an update on the second pitch. So the good news is the order was placed yesterday, and the work on the second pitch will start on Monday and should be finished in the early part of September. At this stage, we're just going to lay the pitch, and obviously the floodlights, the caging, and everything. We will lay the foundations for the second clubhouse that we'll put over there. But I think at this point, I don't think we're going to go ahead and actually build the second clubhouse at this stage. There's still clearly a lot of uncertainty around when we'll be able to make proper use of that clubhouse, particularly using changing rooms and that type of thing. So at the moment that's on hold, but the good news is the second pitch will start on Monday. I know Nicky in particular is delighted because he thought now the first pitch is finished, he wouldn't have a job for the next 6 to 8 weeks, but he'll now have a job to monitor the new second pitch going in, and very much looking forward to that. And I think some of the drone footage and the videos that Ben's been doing have been absolutely superb. So once again, I'd like to thank Ben and Nikki for all of their efforts. The next subject I wanted to get onto is season tickets. So they will be launched shortly, literally imminently, and I'm going to let Kim. I'm going to hand over to Kim in a second to go through all of the details. But it is very much looking like grounds will be restricted, at least at the start of next season. And that's looking like it will either be a percentage of our average gate from last year or a percentage of the stadium's capacity. So we would like to encourage people to purchase a season ticket, because season ticket holders will be given priority access to the stadium if the stadium grounds are restricted. So at this stage, I'd also just like to say I think that Ben did an amazing job on the kit launch video. We received some really positive feedback from Puma on our kit launch, but I also saw Jamie's efforts on TalkSport this morning. So Jamie is now officially the head of season ticket sales for Billericay Town. But we'll hand over to Kim to talk everybody through how they can purchase their season tickets. And I've also asked Kim if she'll talk everybody through how you can buy the new club shirts, etc. So Kim, if you don't mind.
Thanks, Nick. I get the good part, don't I? Because obviously season tickets, everybody's been really keen and interested when we're going to launch and what they're going to look like. So I'm really pleased and delighted to say that as from tomorrow, Friday, 9 AM, you can actually go onto the club website and start purchasing your season tickets. Nick actually alluded to about the priority access to all games. So that's a really important factor and part of the package of purchasing your season ticket. It's also really to know that that would also allow you free admission for all games that are actually held at the ground. That will be the under-23s, under-18s, women's games, colts and girls. So there's a lot of value in purchasing the season tickets. So the adult tickets, early bird is going to be available from tomorrow at 9 AM, and that will run through to the 31st of July. So the early bird for an adult is £200. A concession is £145. A family, which is 2 adults and 2 under 11s, is £400. Under 18s is £55, and under 11s is £10. There's a lot of you as well that actually have assigned allocated seats. The owners have actually agreed to actually keep the price at £20, which I think is, again, fantastic value. And for those of you that like to know that you have a seat, should you want to sit down during a game, then as you know, your names are actually on the seats. Again, great value for money. Available as from tomorrow. If you wanted them posted out once they do come into the club, then we send them out first class signed for, which is about £2.95. So that is the cost of our early birds. And then prices from the 1st of August will go up slightly. So adults will be 220, concession is 165, family is 460, under 18 is 75, and under 11s is £15. So as you can actually see, again, the owners have actually been extremely aware of sort of like impacts, etc. So I hope you all agree that the prices are really attractive this season for the season tickets. Is that okay with everybody? Do I get some thumbs up? I've got some nodding, smiling faces, so that's really great. So again, thanks to the owners for bringing this into line, and actually available from tomorrow, from 9 o'clock. Is that okay? Perfect. What we're actually also going to be doing is, Nick, do you want me to cover off the match day tickets?
Yes, please, Kim.
Okay, so match day tickets. We haven't actually had no increase in prices for many years, But this season they're going up slightly. So the gate price will increase to £15 for adult, £10 for concession, £5 for under 18, and £1 for under 11s. Again, that even shows that the season tickets are great value. We are going to actually offer a slight discount should you actually purchase your tickets online. So the price is, if you purchase your ticket online for a game, is £14 adult, £9 concession, £4 under 18, and £1 for under 11. Okay. It's very difficult because you just see, thank you very much, Peter Davis, loving that. So that's the actual update on season tickets and match day prices. But the even better bit of news is our kit launch, and as Nick said, Ben did a fantastic job, and I know that Puma have actually said that's one of the best ones that they've actually had from a club, so well done, Ben. I also wanted to say a big thank you for that. New shirts and kit. So we're actually going to be doing a pre-order for the shirts. So again, from tomorrow at 9 AM, you can actually go onto the club website and pre-order your home or away shirt. Now, thanks to Richard Ingham, we are able to offer a service where on the club shop, you can actually pre-order and have it posted to you. But Richard has actually supported that you can actually pre-order and collect the shirt from the club shop. So how that would actually work, you place the order through via the link, and then if you actually want to collect it from the shop, you will receive an email to say that your order has been received, and as soon as the stock is in, then I would actually make contact with you via email or telephone to say that you can come into the shop to collect. So thanks to Richard, I think that's a really excellent service. But what it does actually mean, I do have your order, so I do know that you actually want your shirts. So it actually helps me with stock flow as well. Does that sound okay to everybody? Is that a positive? Perfect. So again, from 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, please go on our website and then you can actually see and place your orders. That's all from me. So Nick, back to you.
Thank you very much, Kim. Just wanted to give a little bit of an update now in terms of what's happening with the teams, etc. So just very briefly, I think with the Colts and the girls, we've seen a number of the teams return to training in a sort of COVID-friendly manner, largely training over at the Duke's Head or at Dunton. So that's good. I think the children have really enjoyed getting back, seeing their friends, getting a bit of exercise and returning to some of the things that they enjoy. We're hoping that with the 18s and the 23s, we'll be able to trial soon. To put it, just to give you some numbers, we've had over 200 people wanting to trial with the under 23s, and I think we've had 160 lads looking to trial for the under 18. So looks really encouraging. Just hope we can start trialing everybody soon. But I'm sure what you really want to do is hear from Jamie in terms of what his plans are in terms of the first team squad. So Jamie, if you don't mind just giving an update on the playing side of the club, please.
Yeah. Evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. I miss you all. Can't wait to get back, to be honest, after seeing that pitch develop as well. Absolutely looks amazing. So well done to the board with that, because it's going to really change the way we do things. I mean, we are really close to getting a team now, a squad together. We're keeping a few things under wraps, if I'm honest. I don't want to put out too much. I would say we've got 2 or 3 over the line now confirmed for next season, who are new signings, fresh new signings. We may have one fan favourite coming back, which I'm working on getting over the line. And then we're looking at a number of other positions. Now, my whole plan is to work off a budget that I've been given, which has been obviously very difficult to know whereabouts we can be because of this whole pandemic. But we've worked a certain amount. All the players that are coming to the football club are players who want to be at the football club for the right reasons. I've tried to squeeze every pound out of Nick and the board as I can.
As you should.
Yeah, it's a constant battle to try and get a few more quid out of them to get the players over the line. But they've been different class, and every player that I've wanted so far, I've managed to get. So really exciting, and I think when you see the team that I'm putting together, you'll be excited too. I mean, we've got 4 players who are still at the club. We've got Julian, we've got Ron Henry, Doug Loft, and Jake Robinson. They're all obviously confirmed for next season. Obviously, we lost Femi to Stevenage. Tried to get him to stay, who I really wanted to stay, but he wanted full-time football, so couldn't obviously stand in his way on that. And then there's a few that we've obviously let go just because I want to take the club forward and my chance to put my own stamp on a team and bring in my own sort of new, fresh faces. So you'll be excited with what we've got. There will be room for more movement and more players coming in that we're looking at. And I'm not rushing into any decisions yet on a few. I want to make sure we get the right person at the right price. So it's exciting times. And the management team as well. Again, got to keep it a little bit under wraps just because of other things going on. But you'll be very excited to see the new management team that I've put together.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Jamie. I'm sure Pete will have questions, and we'll.
Yeah. Any questions? Fire them away, and when you open it up, I'm happy to ask any questions. Do you want me to start answering? I know I've seen a couple come up, Nick.
Let's wait till the end and then open it up for all questions, Jamie, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. So just a few other topics to cover. I wanted to just give a bit of an update on the community activities. A lot of you will have seen this already, but we were really pleased to start a partnership with Disability for Sport. You will have seen that Jake and Lindsay did a little video for them. That's something. That's a relationship that we absolutely want to continue to work on, and hopefully we'll get some disability football at the club in the not too distant future. This week we obviously launched the walk-in football. There's actually been a lot of interest in the walk-in football, and we'll probably start that on a Thursday, 10 to 12 on a Thursday morning. Looking to start that in 2 weeks' time. So if you are interested, again, you don't need any previous experience. The guy who's going to run it, Brian Sedgwick, he set it all up at Chelmsford. He's now had another guy come on board who set a lot of the walking football up at Ebbsfleet. So I think they'll do a really good job, and hopefully it'll be enjoyable for people. This week we've had a number of vets teams getting in touch, asking if they can set up a vets team at the football club. And then obviously on the charity side, we've been continuing with the food bank and Boots to Africa. I think given the time of year, people have got old kit. We're certainly going to do it with the youth section where we're buying new kit. We'll try and get all the old kit back together and donate it to Boots to Africa. You probably also saw that on a Friday night, we've agreed that a charity football team called Every Man Matters can play a few charity games on the pitch on a Friday evening. They're trying to raise money for Minds, which is a really good men's mental health charity, and something we'd be proud to be associated with. And then obviously finally we're continuing to partner and support the football pastors. We've done a fantastic job, particularly with the food bank over the last few months. Next thing I wanted to touch on is sponsorship and advertising launch. So in the next couple of days, we'll also be launching the commercial brochure that will contain all of the advertising and sponsorship opportunities around the ground and with the various teams, etc. When we launched that, we'd really ask for all of your help in terms of contacting local businesses or people you may know who may be interested in buying an advertising board at the ground, or sponsoring the under-18s, or sponsoring a stand. So when we launched that, we'd really appreciate if all of the supporters could really get behind that and help us sell all of the advertising space around the ground. Obviously, the more we sell, the bigger the budget we can give to Jamie. So, you know, it's in really everybody's interest to try and push.
Buy.
Exactly.
You've got enough, Jamie, don't you worry.
Oh, evening, Greg.
Evening.
And finally, just while we're on the subject of stands, I mean, we've clearly done a lot in terms of the playing surface at the stadium, but we shouldn't forget that Glenn Tamplin did a lot in terms of the infrastructure around the stadium, particularly the stands, etc. So the board have taken a decision that we are going to rename the Harry Parker stand the Glenn Tamplin stand. All parties have agreed on that. Harry Parker and his family have agreed to that. In fact, you know, it was a collective decision between ourselves, Glenn, and the Harry Parker family. So from next season, that stand will be called the Glenn Tamplin stand. Just sort of final couple of points before we open up to QA. We have asked, we did talk about this before, we would like to have a volunteer weekend at the stadium. With all the construction work, and obviously last season there's a big clean up that's needed. So we'll put something out if we can get some people over on the weekend with jet washers and give everything a really good jet wash. It'll be great. I think there's obviously a lot of dirt and dust and everything from the recent construction. So we will be asking for some volunteers to come over and help us do a big clean up. We obviously know that the Support Society have already offered to help with that, but if others would like to get involved in that, it would be very much appreciated. And really the final message from me is that we really hope that you can all sort of see how hard we've been working to deliver on the promises that we made back in October. But really now's the time when we'd like to ask all of you for your help in terms of kits, season tickets, volunteering, the sponsorship efforts. So if you're able to help, every effort will be very much appreciated. So that's really brought us to the end of the formal agenda. So I guess, Richard, do you unmute everybody and ask for questions?
No, what we do is we ask people to put their questions in the chat, and then we can answer the questions following what people have put in the chat.
Okay.
That's how we did it last time.
Okay. I'm just trying to see where there's the chat. I'll start from the top and see what I'll pick out a couple if you want from Richard. Do we know who's been let go? They're pretty much the four players that obviously who we've kept. Jules, Jake, Doug, and Ron Henry are all going to be at the club next season. We offered a contract to Alfie Potter, but he couldn't agree. We offered a contract to Michael Chambers, which we're waiting on. And obviously we offered a contract to Femi. Obviously he wanted to step up. There are a couple of negotiations still in sort of in the pipeline with maybe a couple of others, but the rest of the players will be leaving, and it'll be a new team for next season.
Okay, thanks, James.
And it ain't Sammy Deering. Someone's put fingers crossed for Sammy Deering. It's very close to Sammy Deering, though. You'll be very excited about the player that we're bringing in.
They reckon you're too old to play, Jamie. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, well, we've got one player who's coming back on the staff side who is still a very, very good player, and he may be helping out in certain positions as well. And that management team, I think we put together, and I'm sure the board will agree, for me, is the best. It will be the best management side that you can get in non-league for sure.
Okay, thanks, Jamie. Lots of questions about the mural. Do you want to take that, Greg?
Oh, thanks, mate. So the mural will be, let's call it amended, eh? So there are certain parts of the mural that we've had this conversation before, haven't we? You know, there's certain parts of the mural we all like. There's certain parts of it, and I can see somebody's asked about the bedroom scene, Joe. You know, that's going to go. So we've got some ideas about how that's going to be covered up. We're talking to a young, talented local artist. Yes, Nick. So it's Nicky Hayes' daughter, and we're looking to redesign parts of it. So more news of that as those designs come in. But I think you'll be pleased with the outcome. But the bits that people don't like, yes, they're going to be covered up.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Just covering off another couple. Kim, Graham Smith's asked if you can just repeat what the cost of an under-18 season ticket is. Yeah,
I did private message you. I did reply to your message, Graham, so I'm not sure if you've seen that yet. But the early birds from 10th of July to the 31st of July for under 18 is £55. And then price from the 1st of August will be £75.
Brilliant. Thanks, Kim. A few volunteers to help over the next couple of weeks, so we'll absolutely get back in touch. I'm not going to ignore it. The easy thing would be to ignore it. See some comments with respect to the naming the stand after Glenn. I think personally, I think we need to respect and honour what Glenn did for the football club. I understand some people's reservations, but you know, he did do an incredible amount for the club, and we think that it's only right that you know, his impact on the football club is honoured in an appropriate way.
Yeah, I'd back that up, Nick. You know, it is easy to ignore it. There's been a lot of water that's gone under the bridge. Some of it wasn't exactly the colour that we'd want it to be, but you know, without Glenn's effort, we wouldn't have the facilities. Some of the facilities we got now, we might not have Jamie. You know, he did do an awful lot for the profile of the raising the profile of the club, and we should rightly honour that and then move on. You know, we've been doing that since we came on board, and it's right that there are some parts of the history that just need to be reflected there.
Is the stand the right thing, do you think?
I don't know, mate. I mean, you know, it's better than a statue, and it's better than a mural, and it's better than maybe, you know, something a bit more frivolous than that. So it was something that we've been discussing with Glenn. Obviously, Harry Parker's family were involved in that. You know, he did an awful lot for Harry, and I think that's what people wanted to do. So yeah, I know it's not the most popular thing in the world, but hey, there's worse things that could happen, and he is part of our history.
Good point.
A question about the Essex Senior Cup final. My understanding is County FA are still hoping to conduct all of those finals, including some of the youth finals that some of the Colts teams were involved in. But I don't know, Jamie, if you've heard anything.
No, we haven't heard anything about the Essex Senior Cup final, to be honest. We're still waiting on any sort of news from the National League on when potential start back dates are. We've got a provisional pre-season schedule in place to start from the 1st of August, because there are sort of inklings on the grapevine of a potential around the 12th of September league start date. for the Conference South. Now, whether that is true or not is, there's no actual 100% in that, but that's what we're hearing for a lot of managers. So we have got a potential start back date for the 1st of August.
Just to comment on that, Jamie, we've been in contact with the league. They're currently dealing with the fact that they're going to do actually playoffs in the National League South at the moment, and that seems to be taking an awful lot of time. But at the moment, they're telling us we're aiming for mid-September, and around that, we're not getting an awful lot more than that. So we're gearing up as a club to start mid-September, and as soon as we know any more, we'll let you guys know.
Thanks, Alex. So question here from Joe Lane about prices of sponsorship and advertising. So we're hoping the full brochure will go out, Joe, in the next couple of days. It's actually ready. And Rob Wisdom helped us with that. We think it's fantastic. And that's going to go out, and it will contain all the prices. Just a couple of sort of ones to point. I mean, a single advertising board around the pitch will be £500 plus VAT for the season. A double advertising board will be £800 plus VAT for the season. We've reduced some of the prices on match day sponsorship, which I think will make it more appealing to people. But that will all come out in the next couple of days, Joe. And as I said, if anybody knows local businesses that may be interested, please forward the brochure to them. Agreement on the lease, Alex, could you take that, please?
Yeah, we're in contact with the council, obviously with the current situation with furlough, etc. They haven't been able to confirm it as yet. We're looking for a 20-year plus lease. We've abided by everything they want for us to do with the ground, etc. We've made the improvements and the necessary certificates, etc. for everything at the ground. So the council are pretty much on board with us. I think it's just a case of getting it closed out with them, but we are hoping to get a 20-plus year lease sorted within the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Thanks, Alex. Jamie, question to you in terms of what evenings you'll be training and whether fans can pop down and watch you train and have a drink.
We'll be training Tuesday and Thursday evenings on the main pitch. I think the under-23s will also be there as well. And I know there's obviously going to be a lot going on at the club. So once, hopefully, we can get people back in the ground and things are open to come down, you're more than welcome and free to come down whenever you want, have a drink in the bar, come and watch training. That's what we're trying to do. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we've laid the pitch. So is that we can have that, sort of personal touch with people and the fans. So, yeah, Tuesday and Thursday evenings, I think we've got a slot from 8 p.m. till 10, I think our slot will be. So it'll be a very, very good, very happy for that, because we can keep the hub of the football club, and we can really concentrate on working on the tactical side of it on the pitch, on the main pitch, get everyone used to playing on that pitch. We was using half a pitch at 6 o'clock last season on a Thursday, and then at half 6 or at 7 o'clock we had to be off the pitch. So and there was kids running on the pitch from 6:45. So it was frustrating. So this now is absolutely brilliant for us. The only problem is I haven't got any excuses if we don't get 3 points on a Saturday.
So just to add to that, and you have got no excuses whatsoever now, Jay. But I think Tuesday and Thursday night. I think Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be big nights at the ground, because it's not just Jamie's team and the under-23s, but also the ladies' first team, High KK, and the reserves are also going to be sharing that Tuesday, Thursday evening. So, to get down there and hopefully we will be able, with the restrictions, to open the clubhouse, then that's a great time to come down, show some support, see what the teams are doing, and really get behind the club.
Yeah, I agree, Greg. I mean, and I'll just add a little bit more as well. I mean, post all this COVID and we're back to normal, then you know, the club is going to be open 7 days a week. You know, there's going to be teams on training on that pitch every night, from under 7s to under 23s, boys, girls, men's first team, women's first team, reserves, development squads. So that the facility is going to be just completely different in terms of usage, and you know, the bar, etc., will be open 7 nights a week. Not that we would encourage you to drink on 7 nights of the week, of course. Greg, do you want to talk about car parking at the cricket club?
Have we got anybody, because I haven't checked, who's anything to do with the cricket club before I say anything? If anybody here actually is a member of the cricket club committee, please raise your hand. Okay, I think we got away with it. So yeah, we have been talking to the cricket club, and in fact we had a session with them this week, and there's a lot more that we want to do, both with the cricket club and the tennis club, because they are our neighbours after all. And together we're now starting to talk about being a Billericay sports hub and actually advertising each other's barbecue nights and working together far more around charities and social media. And as that relationship builds, you know, one of the things that they are happy for us to do is to use their car parking. We will be kind of working with them on improving the car parking facility there, but there's actually quite a lot of it. And the ability to be able to park cars there takes a bit of pressure off the road outside. And so we will be doing that as we go forwards, and we start to get more and more people, as Nick said, training at the ground, because those swap over times between teams training, there's a lot of cars, lots of parents. It could be chaos if we haven't got that extra space. We might need Jamie out there in a high-vis jacket, just directing traffic a bit.
Okay, thanks, Greg. Jamie, a couple for you. Any players from higher leagues, and can we get Odie back?
We have got, I mean, we've got pretty much four confirmed from the National League who are signing for us permanently, which has not been easy. We've had stiff competition from the league above, but these players have seen what we're trying to do. They've seen what I'm trying to do with how I want to do things, and the players that we're trying to get in. And we've got them over the line, hopefully. So we are looking. I've got one from the league below as well, who scored 16 goals last season in the league below, who done a fantastic job. So we've managed to get him as well, who was obviously sought after in that league. So it's a big opportunity for him to step up and prove that he's good enough at this level as well. So we're looking in both the leagues, and we're working on a few now from the league above and the league below. On Odie, I did message him again and say, you fancy a season long low. But I think with players like him, and I was the same, when you go and do what he did with us last season, where he really excelled and progressed as a player, you don't really want to go back. You know, his next step is to, really push on now, probably go and play in League 2, League 1 would be his aim. Faisal, the lad we had on loan, he got injured when he was up, but he only played a couple of games. He's actually in QPR's matchday squad now. So, they are progressing the players that we try and bring in, and hopefully QPR have already said that they'll be giving me more players if we need them, and we will look to get a couple in on loan. But hopefully what I've looked to do, and my sort of philosophy for next season with the squad, is to have a real sort of experienced group of boys who have played at this level and know this level and know how to get results at this level, who are winners. So I'll try and keep the loans to a minimum if I can, depending on injuries and stuff, and have a real sort of core group of players who I believe know what it takes to win in the Conference South.
Thanks, Jamie. Alex, one for you. When is the club planning to reopen the bar?
Right, okay. Been working very closely with Kim. Thank you, Kim, for all your help. We are going to open the club on Saturday. So we're putting an awful lot of measures in down the club to make sure that we can be COVID compliant. So what we're going to do is this weekend, anyone who has purchased a season ticket or family and friends will be able to come down the club. We can accommodate a maximum of 70 people on Saturday and Sunday this weekend. So if you get on tomorrow and get your season tickets bought, please contact Kim down at the club. We will open the bar Saturday and Sunday for all new season ticket holders to come down, have a look at the pitch, have a drink. But all we would say is please respect the fact that everyone's different with social distancing, etc. We're trying to do the right thing and make sure that everyone's kept safe. We're putting everything in place down at the club to make sure that we've got sanitisers, we've got the routes in and out of the club. So the club will open on Saturday for a trial run this weekend. And if as a club we feel we're comfortable that we can control the people that are down there and make sure that everyone's safe after Saturday, Sunday, then we will continue to keep the club open as often as possible. So please get in contact with Kim down at the club. Please feel free to come down on Saturday and Sunday, but we don't want a situation whereby people are put at risk. So the club will be open Saturday. Contact Kim tomorrow. We will need to take your names, addresses, etc. But it's firstly open to people that are season ticket holders, etc. Come down, enjoy the club over the weekend, have a pint with us all, but please respect each other's space, basically.
Thank you, Alex. An interesting question, which I don't know the answer to, is will blue badge parking be available on match days? Well, I certainly think it should. Maybe there should be 1 or 2 spots reserved in the car park for blue badge holders. But that's something we'll take
Nick,
away and discuss. Sorry, Kim?
Nick, so we already offer this service. So what process is that people would normally make contact with myself. The names are put on the car parking register, and spaces are reserved for blue badge holders down in the lower car park. So we already do that.
Excellent. Thank you, Kim. I think that's pretty much all of them. There's obviously a lot of interest in naming a stand after Dougie Young, which again is something we can discuss. Still a lot on the chat about Glenn and the stand. I think we've made our decision on that. We understand if it's not popular with everybody, but we will be doing that. Anybody else have any questions?
Just what they're asking about pre-season friendlies. We have got some provisional games in for sort of August, end of August, but we are waiting on guidelines, obviously from the government, on whether they'll be behind closed doors or whatever it will be. So there is a provisional pre-season schedule in place, but all down to what we have to deal with the government.
Thanks, Jamie. Alex, what time on Saturday will the bar be open?
The bar will be open from midday on Saturday, 12 p.m. There'll be security on the gate. Please try as much as possible to log with Kim tomorrow. If you are coming down, we need to keep numbers to a maximum of 70. We have space in the clubhouse for 45 people. We also have some space out in the stands. We'll be setting everything up. Kim and the team, Simon, our security guy, etc., been working really hard the last couple of days with me to make sure we have everything in place. But please respect the fact that we can only take up to a certain amount of people. But yeah, if you come down from 12 o'clock till whenever we've got the bar busy on Saturday, we will be open, and the same will apply on Sunday. But we just want to be able to open up so people come down, see the new pitch, have a drink, meet people, but please respect the groups that we have to stick in. And yeah, if we can open it and everyone's sensible, that's not a problem. We'll keep it open. If we can't, then we have to work around that. We've got staff down there that need to be. It needs to be respect from everyone, please.
Well said, Alex. Few more coming in. I don't know if there's a question or a statement. We can provide commentary on games if they're played behind closed doors. Yes, I would have thought that's absolutely the case. Do we have the online shop again for Puma this season for the leisure wear? Also, will the club shop be stocking them if they are different to last season? Kim?
Yeah, so currently working on that now, Rich, because I do know that you like a T-shirt, a polo shirt and anything that's Billericay. So I am working on new lines and they will be available in the club shop. So we are going to broaden the range as well.
Okay, when will we know when you need help at the ground for the clean-up? I think we'll just agree a date. I would say, maybe in 2 weekends' time. But we'll have a conversation with BTSS to see what works best with the members, and then we'll put a date out on social media. Jamie, do you know who has strengthened pre-season? Concord have been busy, it seems. I'd rather we don't talk about Concord if we can, please.
No, yeah, I won't talk about other teams. But everyone is, everyone is looking to strengthen their sides. Obviously, there's a whole host of players available at the minute, and we've gone about our business very quietly. We've not posted nothing. I don't think we need to at this moment in time. And I promise you, when you see what we've done and what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to get together, with the help of the board, squeeze a few more quid out of them in a couple of positions, I think we could have a very exciting season with what we've got. But
I don't know about you, Nick, but that's about the third time I've heard him say that. I'm starting to get
no, Greg, you know that. Come on.
God loves a trier, Greg.
Absolutely.
Kim, there's a question here about clothing lines for young kids. I assume we sort of answered this question on social media. I think kids will start under 7s, but will there be some sort of baby wear, kids wear?
I have actually applied as well, so hopefully people could see it. So with Puma, we are looking at some younger ranges as well, but that's nothing I can confirm at the moment, purely just because we're in early discussions based on numbers that you have to buy in.
We need some baby grows, Kim. There's lots of babies being.
I know there is.
I'm looking at Rich. I'm looking at KK. And that's just on the screen. I can see. We need
Kim,
to get some
Kim,
coverage.
You and I,
Rich,
me and Kim will take that away tomorrow. Kim will speak to Puma tomorrow, and we'll get that sorted out. Yeah. Go.
There's a question here. I think. If games are played behind closed doors, how will this affect season ticket holders? I don't know, Greg, if you're going to allow me to say this, but I would have thought we'll come up with some sort of arrangement like we did at the end of last season, but maybe you want to say something.
I'm not sure what you were going to say, Nick. Are you saying we're going to hide them or something? We'll let them in but hide them. Is that you?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? We'll have to respond when that happens. But I think that's not the most likely outcome. I think it's likely that from what we're hearing, it will be reduced. The capacity will be reduced to a third of our capacity, the ground capacity. And I think one of the things about season ticket holders, and I didn't hear everything that was said about that, is that we will make sure that they get priority access if there's any restriction on the crowd numbers. So, that's a natural thing for us to do. But hopefully we won't be in that situation. We just need to hear what the announcements are going to be.
Yeah, I think I'll second that, Greg. I think it's definitely, like Kim was saying earlier, that the season ticket holders will get priority. We'll have to listen to the advice from the league and the government on that. This year, where the season was cut short, I think we've honoured the season ticket holders in the correct way. So it's an unknown for us, but we will make sure that our supporters don't lose out. And kindly, a lot of supporters actually this year, when we offered money back, have been in a position to be able to say, keep it in the club and we'll make sure that money's reinvested in the club. So we'll do what's best for the supporters. We can only ask you to buy your season tickets, and once we know any more or any less, season tickets take priority, and if and when the situation occurs that we can't honour those games, then we will deal with it in the right way.
I think the other thing to add is, we didn't go out with season tickets early like some people. And that was something we talked about, but we decided not to do that until we had a little bit more certainty that we wouldn't have to be playing behind closed doors, that football would be starting again this year. And as you're hearing from everybody tonight, and you're probably hearing it from other sources, I think as long as the situation continues to improve, then we will be able to start again this year. We will be able to have, even if it's restricted numbers, we'll certainly be able to look after our season ticket holders. And that's why we're going out with this now.
Good point, Greg. I think we've run out of questions. So I know last time, a few people sort of stayed on and there was a bit of a chat. We're happy to do that, or otherwise, I think that probably draws this evening's sort of formal part to an end. So thanks everyone for attending this evening. And as we said, very much appreciate your support. Thank you.